Reggie, in your opinion, who is most deserving of that spot?
Well, I think Oklahoma's going to have a stronger case because the Pac-12 is down right now. It's a down year. I thought Oregon had the best chance of between Utah and Oregon to win the Pac-12 and then to go on and to play in the playoffs. But I think the loss to Oregon obviously is going to hurt them. It's also going to hurt Utah. We're assuming that Utah beats them in the Pac-12 championship game. But Utah, as of now, has no wins over ranked opponents. Oklahoma's gone into Texas. They beat Texas. They beat, I believe, Iowa State was ranked.
They were.
Most recently, Baylor as well.
And Oklahoma State.
And Oklahoma State as well. And so then they have to play Baylor again, and we're assuming that Oklahoma beats them because that's not going to be an easy game.
It will not be.
Second time around. But I think Oklahoma is going to have a stronger case than either teams. But the one thing that we kind of talk about on our show that's interesting is, for Oregon, playing Auburn week 1, right? Did that hurt them, right? Did the AD put them in a bad spot by scheduling Auburn
at Auburn
first game of the season?
Yep.
Right. And I don't know if that's when you look at Alabama, they're playing FCS opponents. First 2 games, beating teams by 50, 60 points. So I just wonder. I go back to Oregon. Did they miss out because they scheduled an SEC team first game of the season?
What you get for biting off more than you can chew. Don't mess with the SEC. Y'all know we represent down in the South. Don't mess with the South.
Even if it was a freshman quarterback in his first
game. Yeah,
well,
they did all
that.
that.
Good game,
yeah,
too.
It was a really good game.
For me, I'm going to say Utah. I agree with you, Reggie. They both have very, very similar resumes. Yeah. But when you look at Utah, they won 8 straight games by an average of 29 points. Only one game has been within 1 score. That's Washington. They did lose to USC, but Reggie was in attendance. What did you expect? They're going to rise up. Man, the Godfather was there. So, they played out of their mind that game.
There it is. That's what it was.
But I look at Oklahoma.
They got a penalty flag, too.
Yeah, I know.
Oklahoma, 3 straight wins by 4 points or less. Iowa State should have kicked the PAT and taken the game into overtime. Baylor had them. They got off the hook. Baylor let them off the hook. They pulled their best Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl, and we know what happened with that. But you can't lose to Kansas State. You can't lose to Kansas State by 100 and make the college football playoff. Look, and now that we look back at it, Texas, that was not impressive.
Yeah,
that was not impressive, Skip.
They took a turn.
I haven't spoken.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying I know you're talking about. See, you're a homer because I already know Boomer soon. You're gonna be I want to see Jalen Hurts and he gonna win.
Wait, so you're putting words in my mouth?
No, Utah will deserve this, but I'm hoping for the unexpected. I want Georgia to upset LSU, so everything status quo will be as it is.
Where's Alabama in this discussion?
No, you go.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Alabama?
Okay
this is what happened.
Did they give up football?
No. What happened is the Alabama Invitational, and people were tired of us going every year.
Really?
So we took a year off. We'll be back next year.
So nice of you.
So
Appreciate
ain't
that.
Nick Saban. He
Gave
up 48 in the
First
Iron Bowl?
time. They won't be in the
know.
playoffs.
Wow.
Well, I mean, we can't factor in 2 pick sixes, but they won. Auburn won. Give them credit.
It's a new era.
So Shannon Sharpe obviously just picked Utah to be the 4th team because he hates Oklahoma because I love Oklahoma because I can't help loving Oklahoma because I got born and raised in the tradition. It's in my blood. Shannon, it is happening again. For the 3rd straight year, right before your very eyes. 1 loss, Oklahoma is going to the 4th spot in the college football playoffs. And I'll be the first to tell you,
You don't get beat down.
they don't deserve it. They just don't, but they're going to go because it's going to come down to this. Jalen Hurts and Lincoln Riley or Kyle Whittingham and Tyler Huntley. Nobody even knows who Kyle Whittingham and Tyler Huntley, and nobody can name anybody for Utah. But everybody knows Lincoln Riley might be the next Dallas Cowboy coach. And listen, Jalen Hurts has had a phenomenal year. And I still have to wonder, what if he had been the Alabama quarterback this year? Maybe he would have stayed healthier because he is like, you want to talk about, I'm knocking on wood for him, but he is a durable, big young man.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for Tua, we would not have that national championship that we played Georgia.
Well, if it wasn't for Jalen
up the first half.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Jalen Hurts last year, you would not have made the college football playoff.
We would have made it.
You would not have. He saved you in the 4th quarter of the SEC
But we didn't have no losses, so we still was going to go.
Maybe.
Even with 1 loss, we were going.
Okay, so here we go again because Baker Mayfield lost at home to Iowa State in his year that he went to the college football playoffs. Iowa State was a 31-point underdog at Norman, Oklahoma, and pulled that off, 37-31. I still don't know how it happened. And they managed to overcome that and go to the playoffs.
And caught a nail.
Played Georgia. Well, it took 2 overtimes to catch an L. It's not bad when you have one of the worst defenses in the nation. And then last year, they lost a shootout to Texas, but they came back in the Big 12 championship game with Kyler, and they avenged the loss, and they went.
And they called an L, but
and if they had Hollywood Brown, who is lighting up pro football right now, it would have been a very different story that night.
They could have had Hollywood, Miami, Destin. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so I keep hearing that the Oklahoma defense is much improved over a year ago, and the stats scream that it is much improved because they finished last year 114th in the country in yards allowed. They're 26th this year. Last year they finished 101st in the country in points allowed. They're 52nd. That's like kind of respectable.
Almost half.
But guess what happened? They went up to Kansas State. Manhattan. Little Apple, Manhattan. Not the Big Apple, the Little Apple. And in a shock to me, they gave up 48 points to a team that had scored all of 13 against Oklahoma State and 12 against Baylor. That's Kansas State.
Yes.
48 points and you lose 48-41. How do you do that? And then they come right back against Iowa State and they somehow survive 42-41 because Iowa State did go for the throat and go for the win. And the quarterback threw to the wrong receiver because the big tight end was just like all alone at the goal line and he just missed it.
And it was pass interference
It was
anyway.
close. It was close, but I think you're not going to throw that flag on that play. Not at Norman, Oklahoma. So they got away with that one. Then they fell behind at halftime to Baylor 31-10. And I witnessed in the second half the most improbable comeback in college football history to me. If you had eye tested the first half, Oklahoma could not stop Baylor. Now, it was at Baylor. That's one Saturday is going to be at Jerry World. But they could not stop them. And in the second half, this is the great thing about football, you can actually play keep away. If you pull it off, you can play a whole game of keep away. And in the second half, guess what? My team held the ball for 24 minutes. Baylor had it for 6 minutes. It was 57 plays for Oklahoma in the second half to 16 plays for Baylor. And Baylor had 2 turnovers.
Exactly. That was the difference in the ball game.
Okay, but Jalen Hurts just kept making third down after fourth down after third down. They just snap it to him. And listen, he is not Lamar Jackson because he doesn't have near that kind of burst. But trust me, he can run the rock with patience and guts and guile and strength and it's just he's got a knack for getting yards, and he can make you miss if he gets in your secondary.
And he can throw it too.
He can throw it.
Football well too.
He's going to play for somebody in pro football. I didn't used to think that, but I'm one over.
I would agree 100% with you. I think now even more so, looking at whatLamar Jackson is doing. It's opening up doors more and more for guys like Jalen Hurts.
His door is wide open. So they come back somehow and beat Baylor, and now Vegas is saying they're an 8.5-point favorite over a team that had them down 31-10 at halftime. That seems like too many points.
Defense better show up.
You better show way up in that game.
Let's go Bears. I love the Baylor Bears. Baylor Bears is a good team. Yeah, I like Baylor.
Well,
they are loaded.
Turnaround is pretty remarkable in the last couple of years.
The one thing that Baylor does have is they got that defense. And their defense has been playing lights out all season long for the most part. But in that second half is where they gave it up to Oklahoma. If that defense can play better this time around, they're going to have a good shot to win it.
You want to talk about just willing a team to win? Jalen Hurts just said, okay, I'll take it. Put it on my back, and I'll take you home. And he took them all the way home.
They dodged the bullet. Oklahoma State without their quarterback, running back, torn ACL. I mean, you guys dodged some bullets this year.
They had Tyler Wallace.
No, you got me.
Giving you headaches this year, too. Jeez.
Yeah, that Kansas State gave me a stomach ache is what it gave me.
Are you superstitious watching
They did.
Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terribly.
You have different routines. Okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just the Cowboys. I wasn't sure if it was always
But every
the same.
year they seem to survive their one loss.
It don't even matter, though.
Yep.
Thursday night happening.
Let's see.
Oh, no, you're back to Thursday.
Jalen Hurts and Lincoln Riley, or are those Utah guys?
Utes. Everybody want to see the
Coach
Utes.
Whittingham has had a lot of successful programs over the last couple of years.
No,
but the Pac-12 after dark, it's just in terms of the nation and who's watching, it does hurt
Nobody's
those
watching.
teams.
Nobody.
East Coast, everybody in the bed. Ain't nobody.
And if it was different, we tried to convince them if they wanted to kick off at 9 a.m.
We tried hard, too.
Really going for it. Because it's hard. It's hard to get the eyeballs.
Well, out here in Los Angeles, you can watch my Sooners at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning.
Yeah,
No.
we like to keep you happy.
Yep.
Just
Watch
ready
them,
to go.
Shannon.
I'll be working out.
Yeah. Watch the miracle
Appreciate you
happen.
watching
Y'all
us
go.
on the
Y'all
weekend,
y'all
Shannon.
catching the nail.
Yeah, I think you're in trouble again.
Y'all catching the
You
nail.
know, Oklahoma's going to survive to the playoffs, and Dallas is going to survive to
I
the
think
playoffs.
I might be willing to put a case of do on that too.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah, I'm
oh,
thinking
that's
about
gutsy of you. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess, hold on. I need the 8.5 points though.
No, you don't.
No, hold on. Skip, hold on.
They were hit 31 to 10.
No. So what does Vegas say?
Yeah.
Vegas say 8.5. I need 8.5. 8.5, Skip.
No points. I'll take it head up right now.
No.
Straight up.
Yeah,
Skip,
I can't, 8.5.
Yeah, that's what Vegas said.
I can't take that. I can't give 8.5, Sharpe.
Skip,
No.
give me 8.5.
Nope.
I would do it for you.
31
Yeah,
to
of
10.
course
You
you
wouldn't do anything.
Yes, I would.
That's why you've been
No.
giving up.
I got it.
too much
Let's
over
do
the
it.
last
Head
few
up.
years.
Straight up for a case right now.
No.
That 8.5 is dicey.
All right, I'm going to let you guys think about this one. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.